Okay, so the CTTA theory is very, very outdated, and it's been for a long time. It's an oversimplification of what happens down here. So the simplification is when the TA is more activated, you have a fuller sound, and when the CT is more activated, it's a thinner sound. When there's CT dominance, it's usually called falsetto. When there's TA dominance, it's called chest voice. But the problem is it doesn't work like that. The CT muscle is the muscle that stretches the vocal folds. And it doesn't matter if I go, hey, or hey, the vocal folds still stretch, and there's still a lot of CT muscle dominance. So the CT muscle is always, almost always on high notes, more dominant than the TA muscle. So it's very chaotic, and stuff that are hooty can have more TA dominance than the ho, very chesty type sounds, or ho. And that's the chaotic thing about it. And that's why it doesn't work like saying, yeah, you're in falsetto, it's a CT dominant sound, or you're in chest voice, it's a TA dominant sound. It doesn't work like that, and they didn't find it when they measured it. So that's the thing. And perhaps this might change in the future, but usually when we take these systems to the voice and says, this is what happens at this sound, it usually falls flat, and it has done so for a very long time because the voice is chaotic. A lot of coordinations can make the same sound, and what happens down here is not what we think. We really want to try to apply super logical solutions to the voice, but most of the time they fall kind of flat. That's, for example, like stuff like CVT, where they kind of go for the acoustics of the sound, holds a lot better than this CTTA stuff. The same thing as we talked about classical singers being like, oh, the holy grail. No, there's a lot of great classical techniques, but saying that these singers are super balanced is wrong. They are not super balanced. I've hung around with a lot of classical singers. The tenors are very, very chesty. The sopranos are very, very hooty. And if you'd say, ask for a soprano to belt high notes, she can't do it. And the tenors also usually have very bad falsettos. They're very undominant in the falsetto register. And they usually can't unlock all the mechanisms, like going, whoa, 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 I wanna know. And that's the thing as well. And then claiming that it's the God's holy grail and that they're super balanced, when they can't do that stuff, it kind of bugs my mind. But then, of course, there are a lot of good classical singers that can do all these things that I described, but it's not the general rule. And most of the classical singers can't, and most of the classical tenors, they are very unbalanced, as well as the sopranos. But you're a rock singer, isn't that unbalanced as well? Yes, it's also an unbalanced style. And claiming that it's not, I don't like that. Say what things is. And lo and behold, operatic singers can sing for hours and hours in time and never get tired. Of course they get tired. Or why do you think? They're in a play. They go out, they talk a little bit, and then they sing a song. And then they have a huge break until they can sing the next song. There's 1,000 backup singers and backup choirs and long instrumentals that they can rest on. It's a lot harder to go up and have like a 2 or 3 hour karaoke gig when you have to sing the entire time and entertain the crowd the entire time. You don't get a break. You don't get that sort of stuff. You have to sing all the time. You don't go up and sing one song or 2 songs, then you can go back and rest and have a cup of coffee and chill. And then you go out again. That's a lot easier than just. But are there operatic singers that can sing for enormous amounts of time that have crazy trained voices? Of course. I've trained with a lot of great operatic teachers that had crazy good technique and a lot of stuff to learn. But I don't like this mythos. Oh, it's the only holy grail of this and that. And the best teachers don't say that. They don't teach you that. Usually the bad ones do. They're kind of like trying to scam you for money or building up. If you can sing opera, you can sing anything. And then they can't fucking sing pop. I don't like that. Are there operatic teachers that train great pop singers? Of course, I've gone to a lot of them. For example, Lawrence Johnson here in Växjö, he's trained with Birgit Nilsson, and he has like a plethora of students in pop and rock that are super famous, and he's great at adapting those two styles, and he's very, very good at building voices. But he's not saying anything of this. He's not saying what any one of you guys are saying. He's saying the complete opposite. And that's what it kind of bugs me. So, hope this gets a little bit clearer, and cheers.